Hey there, I'm Rob Nunnery, and you are listening to The Shortlist. This week's episode and article comes from the Seychelles out in the Indian Ocean from a little place called Platte Island. We are here on our honeymoon, and it has been a restful, peaceful week. And we leave today and are excited to get back to life, but it has been a beautiful, wonderful reset. And that is what we talk about in this week's article. We talk about what has been going on in the Seychelles on this vacation, and we go into what I am building in respect to my next project, which is basically building a hydration company built for people that have sensitive guts. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. This is the short list. I am Rob Nunnery, and this week's episode is What Water Couldn't Fix, a week in the Seychelles, slowing down, and why I'm building a hydration product for sensitive guts. We leave Seychelles tomorrow, one night on Mahé, then back to South Africa. If you don't know where this is, the Seychelles sit in the Indian Ocean directly east of Tanzania, southwest of India, and a bit west of the Maldives. It's about a 5 hour direct flight from Johannesburg to Mahé, which is all mountains rising out of the ocean and where the local language is actually Creole. From there, we took a 12-seater to Platte Island. Platte means flat, and it is a flat little coral island where it barely rains. A fascinating thing about the weather here, the high during the day is 26 Celsius and the low at night is 25. So, for those Americans out there, that's 79 Fahrenheit and 77 Fahrenheit. You don't get weather like that in the US. Daytimes and then having the evening temperature basically the exact same, especially somewhere where the temperature range is that comfortable. It's a really cool and unique place. And just some other things about the country that are really interesting. It's 115 different islands, and it is the smallest country in Africa and also the richest per person. Nobody even lived here at all until the 1700s. No indigenous people anywhere. The islands just really sat empty in the middle of the ocean until the French showed up. The granite islands like Mahé are the only oceanic islands on Earth made of granite, which normally only exists on continents, and it's why Mahé looks like somebody just took mountains and dropped them into the sea. There's a palm here that grows the largest seed in the entire plant kingdom, weighing up to 25 kilos. That's just the seed alone. Okay, and my favorite, the whole country has about 100,000 humans, and one atoll alone has 150,000 giant tortoises. There are more giant tortoises than humans in the Seychelles. That's fun. What makes this place wonderful is how remote it feels. Just sitting here on the daybed right now, you look through the palms and there's a gap in all of the lush greenery, and through that gap is just beautiful crystal clear turquoise water and a small stretch of beach. There's a path that runs the whole way around the island that's kind of like a little canopy with just palms overhead the entire way. Really cool. There's hawksbill turtles, black-tipped sharks in the shallow waters, giant tortoises, birds that I've never seen. We have an outdoor shower, which is one of my favorite things in the entire world. And at night, the stars are brighter here than just about anywhere I'd ever been. When I went to the Maldives a couple years ago, I liked it, but you'd look out and you see other resorts, other islands, you'd see construction, cranes, all that stuff across the water, and you didn't really feel like you were that remote. Here, you don't have any of that. You're just purely away from everything. I'm just looking out at the villa right now. There's a little mother um, chicken with her little babies. Very cute. Okay, so the island itself here is really easy too. They give you bikes that have your little nameplate on them, and you can ride around everywhere, or they'll have a buggy service that comes and grabs you and drives you around. And it's not a big island. You could probably walk everywhere, but Danelle has some mobility issues with the legs, so we pretty much typically buggy everywhere. It's been really nice though. I've played some padel, paddle. The villa has its own pool here, so I swam most days. And what's been nice is I wear a stealth belt for all of that. So whether I'm playing padel, pickleball, swimming here, The stealth boat keeps my bag and nice and secure, and I don't even think about it. So that's been really nice to have along with me on the trip. The food here is wild, like wild in terms of it's good, yes, but it is absurdly expensive. I'm talking $70 for a pizza expensive. Um, I'm talking like $90 for a burger and fries, like aggressively expensive. And just to be clear, this is not this isn't how we live. I booked this stay on Hilton Points, and it was very much a treat. And even with the pricing, to be honest, I still can't recommend the place enough. It is wonderful. But the days have been slow. We've had long breakfasts, which we're about to go to now. We have spent a lot of time reading, sitting in the pool reading, and we even painted a couple times this week. Had ChatGPT walk us through how to mix the colors together, what to actually do, since neither of us knew what we were doing. My painting was absolute shit, but to paint a palm tree, which this has been a really cool experience for me, and it's to be honest with you, it's probably my biggest takeaway from the week is to paint a palm tree or to paint a scene in general. You have to really look at it. You have to look at the details. And I'll be honest, I'm not good with details and I'm not great at slowing down. And I'd never once really looked at a palm tree. But ChatGPT was like, you need to put yellow in the leaves, you need to have streaks of darkness for the shadows. Just you have to do it where it catches the light. And ever since I did that painting, truly looking at the world in a different way. Like I'm looking at the water right now, right in front of me, and I see kind of the shimmer and the ripples from some of the wind. I see I see the reflections from an umbrella and how it plays in the light. I see the angles and what makes it actually look and be 3D versus just flat 2D. It's really fascinating, and it's made me just sit and look longer at things, which are good. I think it's good to notice stuff. And I'm interested to see how this carries over into the rest of my life. Just instead of just noticing kind of the details of nature and beauty, what else can I notice? So we put yellow in the leaves where they catch the light, and now you just see it everywhere. Every tree, it's always been there. The pool does the same thing. The water isn't blue, it's about 9 colors, and the ripples through the light around so it never sits still. I've been looking at palm trees and water my whole life, and this is actually truly the first week I've actually seen either one and what they really are. I had to sit down and paint something really poorly to slow down enough to see the beauty all around me. But that slowing down is most of what this trip's been, which is also why I've been paying attention to something I usually don't. They keep refilling these glass water bottles here, and for whatever reason, it's made drinking water easier than it ever is at home. I've been well ahead on it all week, and I still don't feel fully hydrated because for a body like mine, water alone isn't enough. Most people don't know this until they live it. When your colon is bypassed or gone, drinking a lot of plain water can actually work against you. It runs straight through and takes sodium with it. So the water is actually pulling the sodium. So you can drink all day and end up more depleted. What your body holds on to is water that comes in with sodium and a small amount of glucose in the right ratio. Water on its own isn't enough to hydrate for those that are chronically dehydrated. And I learned that the hard way because my last tournament was in December in India. And I'm always super conscious of the heat there and the humidity because it takes a toll on me. So I did what you're told to do and I drank electrolytes all day. It was fine and got me through the afternoon matches of the tournament. And then the team match starts in the evening. And that is when the electrolytes really just started wrecking my stomach. When I compete, I'm usually pretty good at blocking out pain. I've had to play through a fair amount of it. I'm able to just focus on the ball. Everything else kind of goes quiet, and I can focus on the shots and what I'm trying to accomplish. And that night, I was feeling it between shots. I would split step, I'd move, I'd hit, and then my stomach would grab me right before I could get set up for the next ball. And there's nowhere to to put it or to fix it. And the electrolytes were the problem. They've always been a problem for me. To taste good, these products lean on sweeteners, sucralose, and sugar alcohols, and the rest. And for a gut like mine, those are some of the worst offenders there are. The thing I was drinking to get through the heat was actually destroying my stomach the whole time. It's a bad trade off. I'm getting the electrolytes and I'm getting the fluids and sodium that I need, but with all the extra stuff in there, it does a number on my stomach. And the only honest way to fix this is to take the flavor out, because that's where most of the additives and sweeteners, and even if they're natural sweeteners, there's for sensitive guts, they're not great. And that's what I've been building. With my new project, and it's called Flexara. It's hydration made for sensitive guts. It's unflavored on purpose. It's got a light salt taste to it, but nothing really else. It drinks smooth. It's not clumpy or it dissolves well. The glucose, there is glucose in it, and it's not meant to make it taste sweet or taste good. It's measured to the exact amount that your gut needs to absorb the sodium and water, so enough for optimal absorption in bodies that typically struggle to absorb, and nothing past that. So there's only 5 ingredients. This product is more about what's not in it versus what is in it, and each ingredient has a very specific job to do at a very specific ratio. And I'm building this as really a daily baseline. This isn't like you're cramping and you need something in a pinch for an emergency. It could help and would help for that. But that's not what I'm building it as. I'm building it as just a daily baseline for people who are chronically dehydrated and can't get to a decent level baseline for hydration on water alone, which for those of us with IBD or IBS, it is really hard to get to a good baseline on water alone. So I made it to be genuinely good for the people who need it the most, and that includes ileostomies, high output stomas, colostomies, people that really take hydration seriously, or who should take hydration seriously every single day. I've got a colostomy and I struggle too. A lot of my waste bypassed the part of my colon that's been removed, as well as my rectum, so it has less time to absorb. So that's what this product is built for, is absorption. And there's a lot of people like that who've never had surgery and also just live dehydrated, or fall apart when they travel, or have a gut that reacts to crappy artificial additives. I didn't want to build something so narrow that it only reached the most extreme cases. I built something that I wish I'd had on court in that team match in December. And we're getting close now. But if you deal with any of this chronic dehydration, gut issues, drinks that were supposed to help and didn't, please get on the list. The first people on it will get first access and early supporter pricing when it does launch. I'm hoping for September. You can sign up at flexr.com. And if you know someone who deals with this too, I'd really appreciate it if you sent them there. It'd make me really happy. But we pack tonight, fly back tomorrow. I'll report back from South Africa. Until next time, I'm Rob Nunnery. You've been reading the short list, and this episode has been What Water Couldn't Fix. Until next time.